Hi, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 312. This is fifth grade. Today we're going to be working on answering some story problems and working with fraction number stories. So before we get started, I want to go through a couple of things with you. First, when you're doing story problems, you need to make sure that you have some good strategies to help you. One strategy that I use is called the cubes method. So I recorded a video that actually gives you the entire process, walks you through how to use cubes, as well as there's a little chant that goes with it because that's what I'm going to be using on this lesson today. You can find that on YouTube. You can search cubes chant, or you can look at my YouTube channel in the helpful hints section. So we will be using that throughout the lesson. But there are other strategies that you can use along with it. So what you can do is actually in your student reference book. So this is Everyday Math Online. Because you're virtual, you guys should have access to Everyday Math Online. So I just logged in as if I were a student. And I'm going to go right here to my ebooks. And I'm going to go to my student reference book. Now we're going to be on page 30. So we're just looking at this part over here. We're going to pretend like this part over here isn't needed. Okay. We don't need this side. We need what's over here. So problem solving diagram. So this gives us ideas on how to solve different problems. So if we need help organizing the problem, maybe we need to study the information. Maybe we can make a list, table, graph, diagram. Figure out what you need and what you don't need. Sometimes when authors are writing story problems, they're going to give you random numbers or facts that you don't need. So figure out which ones are important and which ones aren't. To help you understand the problem, maybe you need to retell it in your own words. Maybe you need to think about what you know and what you need to know. Imagine what the answer is going to look like. Playing with the information, that means using these strategies are actually things that I do often. So draw a picture. Absolutely. Absolutely. See if you can draw something that helps you figure out this problem. Write a number model. That always helps. Model the problem using objects such as counters and blocks. So we did this a lot when we did volume. When we did volume, I actually used blocks all the time to make my picture, right? So if you need to use counters or blocks or fraction circle pieces, do it. You're allowed to. Figure out how math can help. Can you add, subtract? Which one should you do? Try one and see what happens. But also know that if it doesn't make sense, don't use that one. Okay? So if you multiply 5 times 2 and your answer is 5,000, you messed up. So you need to check your math. All right. And then figure out what units you're using. That's going to come into my cubes method. That'll help you a lot. Okay. Remember, every time you answer a story problem or a word problem, you should have a unit part of your answer. So 5 bananas, 5 monkeys, 5 gorillas, 5 inches, 5 feet, whatever it's asking for in the problem, make sure you have a unit. And then finally, it says, check your answers to see if they work. Does it make sense? Does it fit the problem? Can you solve it any other way? So I know in one of the previous lessons, we did an activity where we had 23 classrooms with 24 students, or the opposite. I think it was maybe 24 classes, 23 students. And so I had a student that said you should add 24 plus 23. So if I add those, that means I had 47 kids in the entire school. Is that reasonable? Probably not. Let's try subtraction. 24 minus 23, 1. Can you imagine a whole school with 1 kid? Probably not. So find a way that works. See if your answer makes sense. Okay? So these are some strategies that you can use when you're doing story problems, when you're doing word problems. So I want you to find 1 or 2, maybe 3 strategies that you can use and plug those in as we're doing our lesson today. Follow along with me, but if you want to try a different strategy, go for it. All right, here we go. Let's get started. We're going to be on page 1 101 in your math workbook. All right, here we go on page 101. So we're going to start by reading the story. 4 friends shared 5 sandwiches after their hike. If they each ate an equal share, how many sandwiches did each friend eat? So in the cubes method, the first thing that you do is you circle important numbers. So I'm going to circle 4. Technically, it's a word, but that's still a number. It's a number word. 4, and I'm going to circle 5. Circle important numbers. Also, you can circle units because it's going to ask about sandwiches later. Do you see that? Underline the question. So the U stands for underline the question. If they each ate an equal share, how many sandwiches did each friend eat? Done. Box in key words. So now I'm going to find important words in my story. All right, so an equal share, absolutely. They're equal sharing. Perfect. How much did each friend eat? Done. Other than that, I mean, you could say each again, but I already did each. I think that's good. Now we're going to evaluate how to solve. All right, so I'm going to think through this problem, and this is where my number story strategies, my strategies will come in place, okay? So I'm going to draw my friends. All right, there's my 4 friends. Now, I'm going to draw my 5 sandwiches. All right, I'm going to say this guy gets this whole one because he can have a whole one. This guy gets this whole one, this whole one. And there's one left over. So that means I need to split this up. And then everyone's going to get a little tiny piece of this last sandwich. So each person is going to get 1 whole and 1/4 of a sandwich. That's how you do that question. Now, you could have taken the 5 sandwiches, split it into fourths, and counted them that way. Absolutely. You also might be able to do your number model. Remember, my number model is what am I dividing? Am I chopping up the friends or am I chopping up the sandwiches? Sandwiches. So what is my dividing? Dividing that by 4 people equals 5/4, which is 1 and 1/4. That's how you would do that problem. Let's look at number 2. Josh combined half of carton of eggs with 1/3 carton of eggs. So combining. Now I have 2/5 of a carton. Is Josh correct? And how do you know? Circle important numbers. Box in key words. All right, he combined them. To combine something means to put it together, so that means add. All right, combining them. And how do you know? Underline the question. So is he correct? How do you know? Okay. Evaluate how to solve. So I know I'm going to add. I know that I'm going to do 1/2 plus 1/3 equals, he said, 2/5. Okay. Perfect. Solve the problem. All right, let's think this through. I'm going to draw a picture. I'm a picture person. So here's 1/2. Here's 1/3. And he said that those two together is going to equal 2/5. Uh-oh. So is he correct? No. How do I know? Because 2/5 is smaller than 1/2. That's how I know. Because he started with 1/2 and added to it, right? That's how I would do that question. Now, the next part. We're going to do this next one. Ryan lives 3 1/4 miles from school. Kayla lives 2 3/4 miles from school. How much farther from school does Ryan live than Kayla? Circle important numbers and units, so miles. Box in keywords. Farther than. Underline your question. I forgot that part. Sorry, guys. Evaluate how to solve. All right, think this through. Think it through. What do you think we're going to do to solve this question? How are we going to solve this question? All right, if you said we're going to subtract, you're absolutely right. We're going to do 3 1/4 minus 2 3/4. All right, because it says the difference. Perfect. Now, I'm going to draw a picture. I'm going to draw that 3 1/4. Now I have to take away 2 3/4. Use this picture to help you and find your answer. All right, to do this, I'm going to take away 2 wholes. And I need to take away 3/4. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. What do I have left? 2/4 or 1/2. So 1/2 mile or miles. There you go. All right, number 4, circle important numbers. Don't forget that's first. Delilah was playing fraction capture. She wrote her initials on a section for 1/3 and 1/6. What is the sum of the questions of selection she initialed? Okay. Underline the question. What is the sum? Okay, great. Box in keywords. Evaluate how to solve. I know that sum means I'm going to what? What do I do when I see the word sum? If I see sum, that means I'm going to add. So we're going to do 1/3 plus 1/6 equals what? All right, I'm going to draw my picture because that's going to help me. There's 1/3. There's 1/6. So 1/3 plus 1/6. What do I need to do? Find your answer and write it for me, please. All right, if I put them all together, I actually will end up having 1/2. So the answer will be, 3/6. Because if I color 2 more pieces, that's 3 total. 3/6 was her fraction. Remember, because it says, what is the sum of the sections? So 3/6 was her fraction. That was the sum. That's how we did that problem. All right, story problems can be tricky, but they also can be easy if you have steps and ways to solve them. Make sure you take your time, do your very best on your assignments, and when you come to story problems, use these methods to help you. Have a great day, guys. Welcome back to the second half of lesson 312. All right, so we're going to do some more story problems. Here we go. Lauren had 3/4 of a gallon of paint. She poured in an additional 1/8 gallon from another can. How much paint does Lauren have? Circle important numbers. Underline the question. Box in key words. What key words do you see in this story problem? For me, I see where she said an additional amount. So that is what I would underline. So I would know that that's my keyword to tell me what I'm going to do. All right, evaluate how to solve. An additional amount. So if I'm going to have an additional amount, I'm going to add. So 3/4 plus 1/8. All right. Now, there are a couple of ways I can do this problem. Remember, use your strategies. I can draw a picture. I can use circle pieces. I can use fraction bars. So whatever is easiest for you, I want you to do. Okay? I'm going to show you the drawing and the fraction circle pieces. So what I would do is I would shade my my circle, and I would show you 3/4. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to add 1/8. Notice how the pictures kind of line up, right? So what I did is basically I'm going to split this one in pieces too, because it's eighths. How many eighths total do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7/8 of a gallon. Same idea, but now I'm going to use my fraction circle pieces. So I'm going to start by showing you 3/4. Now again, 3/4, I can't do plus eighths. I have to split it up. So for each 3/4, I'm going to split it up. I'm going to use my eighth pieces to help me out. All right, let's see. Because remember, I have to have a common denominator. I can't just add. Here we go. And that matches up. Perfect. 3/4 plus 1/8. How many eighths do we have? 7/8. Same answer. That's how you would use your picture or fraction circle pieces for this one. Number 6. Cody 1 is cutting fabric for a quilt. She has 4 feet of cloth to make 12 quilt pieces. If she uses all of the fabric, how long should each quilt piece be? All right, circle important numbers. Underline the question. Box, I'm going to circle feet too, because that's my label. Box in keywords. All right. Each quilt piece. She's cutting the fabric. And she's going to use all of the fabric. Okay. Evaluate how to solve. What do you think we're going to do? Are we going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? If you said divide, you're correct. So we are actually going to do 4 feet divided by 12 pieces equals Q for quilt. Now, for me, I'm going to use my fraction bars. So this is 4 feet. Now, right now, there are a total of 4 pieces, and I need 12. That means between each feet, for each foot, I'm going to have 3 pieces. Count my number of pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, I did it this way on purpose. Technically, you can do 4 divided by 12 equals 4/12. Absolutely. But remember, I need to convert this a little bit because I need to know how many feet that is. 4/12 of a feet is a little hard to think about sometimes, right? So let's think about it differently. How many pieces did I cut each foot into? I cut it into 3. So 4/12 is the same thing as 1/3. So your answer is 1/3 foot of fabric. 1/3 foot of fabric. Number 7. Alyssa started with 7/8 jar of jam. She used about 1/16 of the jam to make a sandwich. Alyssa said, I don't need to put jam on the grocery store yet. We still have about 3/4 of a jar. Is she correct? What are our numbers? Let's see. Circle important numbers. So 7/8, 1/16, 3/4. Oh wait, there are 3 numbers? And it's a jar of jam, so that's my label. Okay. So underline the question. Is she correct? She said there will be 3/4 of a jar. So that's part of the question because we need to know if that's right. Box in keywords. I forgot that part. I'm so sorry. It says she used about 1/4 of the jam to make a sandwich. And she said, I don't need to put it on the grocery list. Awesome. Evaluate how to solve. What is my number model for this question? For this one, your number model should be 7/8, and I'm going to write it right below, 7/8 minus 1/16. And she said is about 3/4. Okay. Figure out this problem. Do you think she is right or do you think she is wrong? If you said she was right, you're correct. Let's see. All right, 7/8. All right, here are my eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's definitely more than a half. And it's definitely more than 3/4. Then we're going to take away 1/16. So basically, I just need to split up one of these. So I'm going to take this one right here and I'm going to split it up and I'm going to make that be 1/16. Is it still about 3/4? Yes. Hold on. So the way that I would answer this is, yes. 7/8 is almost 1. Minus or subtract 1/16, and your answer will be about 3/4. Absolutely. All right, Tyrell and his mom went to the grocery shopping. They bought 1 1/6 pounds of carrots, 2 5/6 pounds of potatoes. Tyrell carried the carrots and potatoes in one grocery bag. How heavy was the bag? Circle important numbers. Don't forget your label. Underline the question. Box in keywords. Okay, was the whole bag, it says. He put it in one grocery bag. All right. Evaluate how to solve. What are you going to do for this question? All right. For this question, you're actually going to add. So we are going to add 1 1/6 plus 2 5/6 equals what? All right. So I always separate it. So that's my hint. See if you can figure out this question. What do you do? How do you add it? What's your final answer? All right, your final answer should be 4. 4 pounds. 4 lbs is also how you can say pounds. All right, the reason why I said that is because 1/6 plus 5/6 I know is 6/6. And I know that 6/6 equals 1. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Add that to your 1, and your total answer is 4. That's how I did that problem. All right, I hope this helps. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you later.